Nothing like seeing Democrat hypocrisy than our good friend Cori Bush. Remember her? She was voted out of office. Remember her? I remember her. And while we're still waiting for Trump to show up, he's traveling out there. He's going to be heading to the U.S. Capitol. They're en route. But hey, before we get that to happen, live and direct, hold on there, folks. Cori Bush has got some stuff to say about Ukraine. Ukraine.
You mentioned in your speech earlier at this event that we're at the Peace Ball, you want to basically advocating for a general movement of peace. I'm wondering how you relate that to the issue of Ukraine, because it seems like the Democrats in Congress were almost virtually united, actually 100% united in funding Ukraine.
Isn't that funny? She was speaking at the Peace Ball, and yet she voted and was on board for giving that money for war.
Which, whether you like it or not, that does involve sending a giant amount of munitions and weapons and armaments into a hugely destructive war where you have hundreds of thousands of casualties, Russians and Ukrainians piling up in the battlefield. And the only criticism was coming from a section of Republicans. So is there any contradiction, do you think, in terms of you calling for peace or Democrats calling for peace and not being willing to at all reevaluate the policy on Ukraine, which has really been extremely catastrophic? It's some of the most brutal warfare since World War I, like 100 years ago. And Democrats, from my perspective, just to be honest with you, have been very missing in action in kind of critically evaluating that policy and just going along with it, whatever the Biden-Harris administration wanted in terms of weapons. Really, what about diplomacy? What about some other option rather than just dumping endless weapons into Ukraine? Is that fair, do you think?
I think the other part of that, though, is the threat of U.S. troops by the masses moving to the ground was a very real thing. At least that's how it was presented. It had been presented to us in Congress. And for me,
presented by who?
Presented by the administration.
Wendy, is he interviewing her or making a speech? A little bit of side A, a little bit of side B, followed up by the jackass said, she's too stupid to answer this question. Folks, listen, folks, listen. Don't expect a politician to give a truthful answer of why billions upon billions of dollars was given to this horrific, stupid war taking place in Ukraine.
That, that would be a very real thing, so did we want to keep U.S. troops from having to go to Ukraine? So that was the thing that people were weighing.
So the White House presented, just to clarify, the Biden White House presented the issue to you as if you don't supply the weapons that they say are required, that could involve that might mean that U.S. troops would have to go into the combat.
If we don't, not saying that if we don't supply the weapons, it was if you all don't support these bills, then that could be the outcome. And so for many, and I can't speak for everyone, but the question, when I look at my own district, and I think about those who often are the ones who end up with the least amount of help, the least amount of services, often don't have what they need when they return back. I wanted to support my community in that. So that's what that was about, making sure that we weren't sending the black and brown bodies to go and do this bidding, and then using the money and the resources to go and do that. I can't speak for everyone, but I know that was what some people were thinking, and so I can't.
So wait a minute. Oh, hey, hold on. We're gonna get these other people to fight this war. Why not do a quick diplomatic envoy? Oh, I don't know. Like, hey, wow, it looks like Russia and Ukraine are going to be shooting at each other. We need to quickly, and I mean quickly, call up the Senate and House of Representatives, get Joe Biden up, and we need to do a diplomatic ceasefire to make sure that no more rounds, no more tanks, no helicopters, ships, or people are going to be attacking each other or killing each other. We need to do peace. Oh, wait, that didn't happen because our politicians knew. And before the first tanks crossed the border into Ukraine, our politicians were making huge financial killing. You could thank Unusual Whales for revealing that devastating piece of information. because our politicians knew how to make a quick buck. And so that's why the war's still going on, because money needs to be spent, weapons need to be sold. By the way, we did numerous reports about how, and don't forget even how CBS even did a documentary that somehow disappeared then, about, hey, where are these weapons going? How come some of these weapons aren't delivered? Or either that, the Ukrainians getting devices and machines and vehicles that just don't work properly. All the while, men and women are dying. I mean, my goodness, the aftermath of this horrific war, the psychological impact for both the Russian and Ukrainian people, and in turn by proxy the European people, is going to last for a generation, maybe more.
And like I said, I can't speak for everyone. I didn't have those conversations, but that was just a very real thing. So,
Sorry, I forgot to put my microphone in my face. Your thinking
That was very unprofessional, Michael. Come on, keep that mic in your face.
at the time, when these appropriations bills came forward in terms of arms for Ukraine, was that by approving arms for Ukraine, you were lessening the likelihood that, as you put it, black and brown, soldiers or people that had joined the military would end up getting deployed to Ukraine. So that's how the administration framed it. So I assume that, through no fault of your own, you're not somebody who spent a whole lot of time probably focused on the issue of Ukraine over the course of your career. You have other interests mostly, right? And so they presented it to you, or your interpretation was that by providing those munitions, you were basically saving or no. Okay. So
no. It wasn't providing munitions. It was supporting these bills to hold off Russia. Supporting these bills was their funding for
munitions.
It was for what the funding was for. This was a way to stop us from sending U.S. troops, who, for me, what I was already dealing with in my district, were most.
She's lying. Hey, folks, let's have democracy in the chat. Is Cori Bush lying? Is she being a lying liar who likes to lie? Type 1-4. Yes, she is, kid. She's lying. Type 2. No, let's give her a chance. She's telling the truth. See how I switched it up on you? I wonder how many ones, unos. I feel like being different today. I wonder how many ones will be in the chat. Is she lying? Type 1 for yes. She is. She's lying. I type 2. No. We got to give her a chance. Maybe she's telling the truth. Oh my goodness, we're getting a lot of unos. What on earth?
Mostly black and brown and marginalized folks that we were trying to help. It was to stop that from being the next occurrence. That's what that was.
But those bills provided munitions.
With the county, I've given you a lot of time, and so and for you to turn this into a Ukraine thing was not, So I.
Oh, she's like, how dare you challenge me? How dare you question me? Shut up.
I'm trying to answer your question.
I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be respectful, honestly.
Yeah.
I just thought that Ukraine was relevant, given that we're the peace ball. And that's another conflict going on. You don't think so?
No. Absolutely. What I'm saying is that you keep like asking question after question after question. I only answered 2 questions with everybody else. I gave you 6.
Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah.
So
she's like, how dare you challenge me and give me more questions? This is the peace ball, gosh darn it. Even though there's war happening all over, and I helped contribute it. Hey, by the way, just so y'all know, when Cori Bush got into office, she actually wrote a book. Like, you served only one term, and during your term, you wrote a book? A book? Like, why?
So,
All right. Well, I appreciate either way. I didn't mean to be rude at all.
Dude, don't apologize. No, you're like, hey, look, we're here. We're here to answer questions. All right, there you go.
You weren't being rude. I mean, you took the opportunity to just.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Anyone would do. I get. I'm just saying. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well.
I don't want to speak for other people about, because I haven't had those conversations. So yeah.
All right. Well, former Congressman Cori Bush of Missouri. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Keyword former. Keyword of the day. Watchword of the day.